So when did we first meet?
So we met in 2003.
Yeah.
So we were supposed to studying music. Did we work in any like groups? I think you just got involved in Onion.
Yeah, we were doing a lot outside of uni, and I was trying to sort of blag my way through the course by using what we were doing in the band at the time.
Yeah, and then I think you just asked us to come and have a little jam, didn't you, with the lads?
Yeah, so I think we had a couple of tracks. So Ticket Man, which was a real, I suppose it was a bit of an epic song for us in a way. It was progressive. It was lots of different sections, and we just needed something adding. And obviously your brass, your trumpet playing was what we needed.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I said before, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play guitar like Liam. I was just hooked. Like it's like I'm talking to the camera there, by the way. Like, you know, is that what you want or just okay? It's like because it's like, as we said before, two people playing at once, two guitarists, and I was just fascinated by it. That's like, you know, I don't know why I'm bigging you up so much here.
But I'm loving it.
Yeah. That's pretty much it, really, isn't it? Yeah.
But can I just say, right? So you were the first person I ever met that had perfect pitch, and that you just blew me away. Where I could just go, nah, and you'd be like, that's an A flat or something. What was that?
It was a C sharp.
Okay, yeah. See, so yeah, you blew me away with.
I don't think it was. I think I've lost it.
Yeah.
Perfect pitch a little bit. Yeah. Well, no, I haven't lost it.
How did you find you had perfect pitch? I've always been interested in this.
So we had the piano in the house, and I was obsessed with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
And you know the start so I started playing the but it was the exact same notes, and they were like, how did you know what it was? And I was just like, I just matched it up in my head. And then I think my piano teacher got me onto it, I think. It's not like a
superpower.
It's not a superpower.
It is a superpower.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. Because I remember when you came into the studio with us and you were laying down the bit in the Ticket Man, and you were just, it's like you can just sing the harmony in your head, or you just know it in that brain of yours, and then you can just play it. Whereas us normal mortals would just have to like figure it out, maybe. And
I always just like it's I mean, there's what is it, like 13 notes? You know, is there
12?
Yeah, 12. Yeah, 12 notes.
You probably know a 13th secret note. Is it 12? It's got to be on it.
What's it called?
12 frets on a guitar.
Yeah.
To the octaves.
It's I just I don't know what to tell you. I can just hear the notes.
Stylistically, can you tell me what blew you away about Liam's guitar playing? You say about two people. Could you just elaborate on that a little?
So the way that he plays, it's like he doesn't just play a chord. He kind of drags each note out, and I just found it fascinating. More, I think, because I heard it first on like a recording, I think, and then saw you doing it and was just like, you know, blown away by it.
Still just shapes, isn't it?
Still just shapes, yeah.
Interestingly, like this, the guy who taught me classically, he always told me to treat it like you were playing a game of pool or snooker and eye up your next shot. So I've always thought of what I'm playing in shapes and what shape I'm going to next. I don't know if that's relevant, but that's probably influenced the way I play.
It kind of makes sense a little bit as well, because like, the way you're playing evolves on the guitar in that moment is I've never seen it before. It's And when you show you, because you introduced me to a lot of Spanish stuff like Paco de Lucia, and what's that duo, Rodrigo, Gabriela.
Gabriela, yeah,
You got me into them as well, and it all started to make sense in terms of your influences, but on an electric guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's boss. Love it.
Cool.
God, I hate this.
Will that do for now?
Yeah.
Alright, bloody hate this.
Oh, sorry, mate. Oh shit. From me.
I was thinking all the way here, actually, when you said it, I was like, what am I going to talk about? I was like, well, there's Liam's guitar playing. When we first met, playing on the record.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to talk about.
20 years
Having
ago.
a whitey. One of the worst whiteys in my entire life.
No, there was supposed to be a video at some stage with regards to the highlights that might slip in quite well. You want an experience. Went down to the studio. Why? My leg went funny.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll never forget, because we sat there and like my leg started doing that, and I wasn't controlling it. I was like, why is my leg doing that?
I don't think you said a word for like
Yeah.
a while.
I remember thinking, because you kind of logically, I just went, well, I've got no control over that, so I must be dying. That was what was going through my head. And I remember being outside, pacing up and down, like with my head in my hands like that, like just really like stressed. And then I just had to go and have a lie down, and I was fine. I think it's just boozing, isn't it, before you have a spliff? So yeah, maybe we were drinking as well. Yeah. Lesson learned that day. Don't smoke weed. And then I moved on to crack.
I have a question then.
Go on.
What are you doing back in the room?
Back in the room.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
here. How did this come about?
Oh, right, sorry.
You mess! Back in
How
the
did
room.
it come about?
What are you doing here today?
What brought you here?
Well, you set up the WhatsApp group.
Oh, it's my fault, is it?
I think I've always wanted to come and work with these again. Always wanted to.
Because we always thought, or I always assumed, you were very, very busy doing your bits and bobs, and obviously the distance is
This is not far from me, though, is it?
well, not for you.
But yeah, I've always wanted to come and work with you again. Always, absolutely. You know, I think I'm an Esteban fan, firstly, so you know it's a bit of a privilege.
Privilege is ours.
Oh,
No, it is.
And I'll say as well, Young Scouts, we met a lot of people along the way, but yeah, you will always stick out and you were just always, the feeling was mutual from our point of view. It was like when, like that day in the studio, like I was saying earlier, that perfect pitch thing was so,
probably I tuned the bass up.
Yeah.
it was possibly one of my worst hangovers. I'd driven from Wakefield to Rugeley to record.
He's not retuned it since either.
Yeah, it's works perfect. 20 years,
great,
but no, and just that, like the level of musicality, you were on about it earlier,
Yeah.
as in just coming in and Liam was saying, yeah, you just sort of heard it, but coming into a noisy room, tuning a bass, and then coming amongst things, and then just layering this, what to us was a perfect sort of piece. And like for us, we haven't seen each other 20 years, but we've been listening to that sort of tune, and every time you sort of put it on, it brings you back to that day. And
You know, I think that was the first time as well that I'd like recorded in that way, where I don't think I came with like a planned part like today, really.
I remember you saying back then that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was really, really similar experience to you turning up today and saying,
Yeah.
I've got these harmonies in my head, and I'll layer it, and it's like almost identical to what you said back then.
Do you know? Well, I think it's one of them where like I like to be prepared, because I'm always thinking, you know, obviously you're not a client, obviously, but I want you to be happy because it's your song. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, I don't want to come in and take over, but I don't also it's finding that balance, isn't it? Of you know, like you want it to be a contribution, but like a valid one. You know, so like, you know, that's why I was at the start. I was like, do you want me to kind of add to what you've already got, you know, like you know, or do you want it to be like a separate point, like a solo, basically?
So I think just giving you the freedom in the studio or in the room is always the best way.
Yeah.
Happen organically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, from a guitar point of view, I come up with a lot of parts and I hear them in a certain way at home, and it's not until we come and jam them that actually I'll hear something different, or the feel changes, or, you know, the emphasis on different parts changes. And I think it's good to have an idea of what you're going to bring.
Yeah.
Just to have that open mind when you get in the studio or when you get in the room. I think that's why it worked well in that session before, because it was like you just felt the vibe on the day and kind of, and it grew. The parts grew throughout the day as well, didn't they? With the harmonies.
Yeah, you know, that's the thing with just like repetition, isn't it? And like when you do come up with like a bit of a part that really works, it's important to like get it down, you know, make sure that like, because you know, if you don't record it, it goes, doesn't it? And but like after today, I'll listen to the parts, and you know, because probably a little bit of autism in me just likes to have a little bit of control over it. Do you know what I mean? Rather than, you know, I think there's a little bit of anxiety about like going in and just, you know, because you just want to make a valid contribution, don't you? At the end of the day, what I think that's how I approach it anyway.
We feel it because that's from a Yorkshireman, it's a pride thing, isn't it? You want to do your best, and we're all clients to each other to some respect. It's just that we're so comfortable with it, always.
And that's the thing from my perspective. It's like, we've obviously played together for years, so it's kind of wanting someone like you to come in. The last thing we want to be
still
doing
waiting for me royalty checks, by the way.
So are we.
The last thing you ever want to do is force someone to do what you want them to do. You brought in because of what you bring, and it's
because I have recorded with a guy a few years ago. Have you ever heard of Yusuf? So he's like, you might, did you ever go to a night called Circus? He's the guy behind that, and he wrote this album. It was all mainly dance stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and I for that, I got paid like 30. And I'm not bringing money up for any other reason. I'm not expecting any money at all. But like, you know, it was like 30 quid. This is what I want. And to some degree, I was like, and I think I did do a few extra little bits for him just to try and, you know. And in some ways, it's nice when someone's got an idea of what they want, but it's also good to come in and be able to just be like creative, and just like and bring something completely new.
But that's
to
the difference, isn't it? Like between having a job to do, bit of work, or actually to have an expression of art or whatever. You know, like you pour your own heart into it.
Yeah,
I think that's what we've always strived to do, rather than just do a job for the sake of it.
I think I've just always got in my head though about this, like what you want it to, you don't want to take over, you know. And like I keep bringing up about like Flea's parts and like Stadium Arcadium, you know, and I kind of use that sometimes, I guess, because I always think about you as a compare you with like John Frusciante, and you know, you were such a big Chili's fan, and like you can hear a lot of the Chili stuff in your music, I think. So, you know, I always think about what would the trumpet bring to this piece, you know, and I think that's why I'm always like thinking about like what harmonies. So I'll add little toots here and there, but I'm thinking about what layering it up, how much of an impact that could have, you know, and that's why I'm thinking, like as we said at the start, if you ever wanted to try, I could score a part just to see what it sounds like, and then get a sax in or a trombonist as well to fill the sound out.
Because that really intrigues me.
Is it?
It tremendously so, because one thing I was sort of saying to Liam just then is like, for us, we've been as a 4-piece since time immemorial, and kind of for us the difference, you know, with us taking on the sort of vocals and just being a 3-piece, one, I've always wanted to work with horns, but two, with you sort of saying about scoring, and whether it's a trombone or a sax or both or whatever, it brings an intrigue because we come at the music from whichever our perspective, and for example, horns aren't our forte at all, and kind of
not mine either.
Exactly. So it's kind of it's just from a musical journey point of view, it's really intriguing because the thought of playing alongside those kind of things, but within Esteban, kind of blows my mind because again, I've had say a powerful lead singer and being a backing vocalist or bass player behind Steve and he's dancing all that, to then there's three of us and perhaps there's some horns, and that's just when you're sort of zoning out on stage or when you're playing, just those different things, that different interest, and say your view on or different harmonies or sort of beautiful things from Sam will approach it from a vocal thing, Liam's looking harmonically from his point of view, I might add a bass line which Liam hasn't expected but ties in with Sam, and then you're bringing all of those kind of things, so it's just musically.
It's like you're evolving, aren't you?
Yeah,
and you're getting out your comfort zone as well.
Exactly. Yeah.
And McCartney's always a good example, isn't he, of pushing boundaries and trying new things, and some of the stuff that he put out, particularly on his own, you're like, well, that's a bit questionable, isn't it? But I think it's just good to try.
For every frog chorus, there's a silly love song.
That's what.
For every frog chorus that you did, because you did just pretty much the worst song ever. And then silly love songs wins. Amazing bass line.
Yeah. No, I'd not hold back with ideas if you've got other stuff to throw at it. Don't think we're precious about it. Just bring it.
Yeah.
Louder next time.
Yes. Poor efforts. I mean, I think as well, when I go away from here, obviously I'll listen to what we've recorded, and sometimes it just hits you, doesn't it? There'll be something there that you've just been staring you in the face, but you've missed it. So
definitely.
God, crap at this. Sorry, I'm not very good at being interviewed.